Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. Unfortunately, it appears that Patreon is back on their BS, doing everything in their power to force artists off their platform. Now, over the past year or two, Patreon has been on a slow-burning crusade to rid their platform of any and all forms of adult content. And as you might have guessed, this includes fictional content. While Patreon's banning of fictional content historically featured more hardcore examples of art, it appears we have now reached a dangerous new territory, the banning of completely benign traits like height, bust size, and other characteristics of petite characters. A few days ago, an artist shared this email sent to them by Patreon suggesting changes they need to make to ensure that their content falls within the site's guidelines. The posts flagged in the email include artwork exclusively featuring the character Mary Rose from the Dead or Alive franchise. Through the email, a staff member at Patreon suggested that the artist should consider rendering physical characteristics to be more in line with that of full-grown adults, citing head-to-body ratio, height, and/or breast size. Yes, you heard that correctly. Body shaming is now the official policy over at Patreon. Now, for the sake of clarity, Mary Rose is 18 years old, a character of legal age, as if the age of a fictional character even means anything, but it's still anecdotal evidence that Patreon will remove content featuring even adult age characters if they have certain features like being short, flat, or just petite in general. According to official lore, Mary Rose is 4'10", short by many standards, but oddly enough, that's only 4 inches shorter than the average Japanese woman, Japan being the country where the Dead or Alive franchise was developed in. So referring back to the original email, Patreon is essentially saying that artwork featuring legally aged adult fictional characters will be bannable if they are short, flat, or just petite in general. Way to go, Patreon. At the very least, this is body shaming of a very common frame of adult women, both real and fictional, and even worse, the continued infantilization of petite women, especially those from Asian countries like Japan. And I'm sure many of you are wondering, what about traditional lolly or shota related content? Well, perhaps unsurprisingly, that type of content featuring any sort of graphic themes is outright banned by the site, something confirmed by Discord messages recently shared by this artist. And to make all of this even more frustrating, Patreon has no problem drawing hard lines when it comes to fictional content, but bends over backwards to protect accounts sexually exploiting real-life children for profit on its platform. This is something I covered extensively in a video from a few months ago, so if you want to know more about the subject, I highly encourage you to take a few minutes to watch it, and of course, you can find a link to that video in the description. But what Patreon is doing here is a disservice to artists who have used its platform. Sadly, there was a time where Patreon was viewed as the alternative, the safe haven for artists to promote their content, free of the restrictions common among other social media websites. But now, Patreon has proven itself to be just another sellout, throwing its artists under the bus to keep investors happy. Sad to see, but unfortunately, I'm not surprised. But that's going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.